me phone home?
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 alien characters of all time.
I'm from outer space?
Yes.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Where the hell am I?
That's why I love Earth. You can do what you want, and no one makes you feel guilty because no one cares.
We're not listening!
That's what I'm talking about.
For this list, we're looking at individual characters of extraterrestrial origin from all media. As you may have expected, a spoiler alert is in effect. Which of these aliens would you like as a buddy? And which would you want to phone home ASAP? Let us know in the comments which close encounter stuck with you. Number 20, the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant is the perfect icon of the split in our hopes and fears for alien contact.
Can you do that? Blah, blah, blah.
On the one hand, he's a strange visitor from another world, bristling with weaponry. We don't know whether he's here to invade, scout, or just blow stuff up. But with the sheer number of lasers he's packing, his original purpose doesn't seem friendly. On the other hand, though, all it takes is a simple bump on the head for him to forget any nefarious purpose and form a beautiful friendship with Hogarth. In the end, the Iron Giant teaches us that everyone, human or otherwise, can be who they choose to be.
Love you.
Number 19, Kirby, the Kirby franchise. Okay, so less complication here. Kirby is little and pink and pudgy.
It's gotta be impossible, but your name wouldn't happen to be Kirby. Kirby!
He sucks up a lot of food, but unless he inhaled a couple of philosophy textbooks, there's probably not as much duality here as there was in… What do you mean he killed a god? Gods, plural? Okay then. Turns out the Kid Appeal character from Super Smash Bros. Has a lot more deicide than you'd expect in his backstory. If you're trying to take over the planet Popstar, then you had better be careful not to get on Kirby's radar, because he will mess you up. The weirdest part is he never seems to know what the villain is even doing. He's just mad they made him drop his cake. Number 18, Alf. Alf. You might not think of him much today, but in the 1980s, Alf made huge strides in human-alien relations. Rather than a visitor to hide from your parents or a monster from another world, Alf came to Earth as an annoying roommate.
If it's not too much trouble, how about fixing my spaceship?
How was leaving the toilet seat up and never washing the dishes a huge stride? Well, think of it like this. Alf took the strangeness, the unknowns of an alien life form and made them familiar. Friendly, even. Sure, he told bad jokes, and he might try and juice your cat. Not a euphemism, we promise.
That include cats? Nature's perfect food?
But Alf taught us that underneath all those superficial differences, an alien might just be a new member of the family.
The great and powerful Alf has spoken.
Number 17, Klaatu, the day the Earth stood still.
You must say these words. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Please repeat that.
Klaatu Barada Nikto. You've heard that before, haven't you? It's not just random gibberish. Well, it is, but it's random gibberish from a classic of early sci-fi. Klaatu and his robot friend Gort are a pair of space cops who come to Earth to tell us the error of our violent ways.
We have come to visit you in peace and with goodwill.
Either Earth gives up its nuclear weapons, or they blow the whole place up. And how does Earth respond to that? Well, here's a hint. Klaatu Barada Nikto means Klaatu is dead. Immortalized in everyone's favorite obscure alien gibberish, Klaatu and Gort remind us of the fear we might not live up to our ideals when faced with an alien species. And exactly how dire the consequences for that might be.
It is no concern of ours how you run your own planet. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Number 16, Silver Surfer, the Marvel Universe. Will you be ready when Galactus cometh? He hungers for worlds, you know. That was the Silver Surfer's message when we first met him. He saved his homeworld from being devoured by agreeing to become the planet-eating space god's herald.
To me, my boy.
And he had his sights set on Earth. But the beautiful thing about our shiny friend Norn Rad is that he doesn't keep looking for planets to feed to Galactus forever.
Part of me longs to simply take what I desire, but I have a duty to perform.
Instead, he makes friends with the Fantastic Four, and inspired by their bravery, he finds the courage to stand up to his master. If Galactus represents the terror of a universe greater than anything we could imagine, then the Surfer reminds us there might just be hope out there too.
There's always a choice.
Not always.
Number 15, Martian Manhunter, the DC Universe. Did someone say hope from other worlds? J'onn J'onzz is the last surviving Martian, making his new home among the people of Earth, and sworn to protect them any way he can. And while that might sound familiar from the backstory of certain other superheroes who might show up later on this list, Manhunter doesn't blend in quite as well. With his imposing stature, heavy brow, green skin, and uncanny powers like shapeshifting and the ability to read our minds, J'onn looks undeniably, well, alien. It makes it harder to fit in when he's not hiding in human form. But no matter how much humans mistrust him or set him apart for his looks, J'onn keeps helping them with constant kindness, courage, and tolerance. Number 14, Lilu, the Fifth Element. Close your eyes and picture what the supreme being would look like. Is it Mila Jovovich with an orange mop on her head? No. Weird, because that's what she is in the Fifth Element.
And this is?
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Lilu might come off as a weirdo in cheddar cheese suspenders, but apparently she's the living embodiment of the Fifth Element itself, whose power is only accessed by love.
Lilu.
Lilu represents the romance of the unknown, our desire to fall in love with another world.
Everything you create is used to destroy.
Number 13, Thor, the Marvel Universe. What? No way! Thor's magic! Aliens can't be magic, right? Huh, well, there you have it. When the legendary Jack Kirby built the mythology of the Marvel Universe in the early 60s, he made Thor a little different than the original Norse version.
Father?
Oh shit. My son Thor has returned. Greetings, my boy.
Kirby's Thor is from a race of superhuman beings who had visited Earth for thousands of years, seeding the idea for the Viking myths. That's why you get to see him hanging out in spaceships with Groot and Rocket Raccoon.
Thank you, sweet rabbit.
There's just something powerful about the image of one of Earth's legends returning to be one of its mightiest heroes in our hour of need. Number 12, Optimus Prime, the Transformers franchise. There's a running theme here of aliens blending in on Earth to be our secret heroes, but nobody ever said they had to look human. Case in point, Optimus Prime is a truck.
Let's roll.
Well, to be fair, sometimes he's a robot too. Leading his people in an endless war against the Decepticons, Optimus Prime may have been invented to sell toys, but many have adopted him as a bastion of stable authority, amid a story about aliens bringing their age-old blood feud to our neck of the woods. If Earth has to turn into a series of loud, confusing summer blockbusters, at least we have Prime's deep, rugged baritone to see us through.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
Number 11, Venom, the Marvel Universe. It can't all be good guys. Sometimes aliens are slimy, malicious hate monsters. And what better example can there be of slimy and malicious than Marvel's Venom? Originally introduced as an alien symbiote that formed a new costume for Spider-Man, in some ways Venom is a perfect, heartwarming partnership between human and alien. In other ways, though, it does force its way into host bodies and transform them into psychotic revenge beasts. So, that might be a bit less heartwarming. Also less heartwarming is the degree of cannibalism, ranging from vampiric life-stealing to just outright dude-chomping. Being a parasite makes Venom more than a monster. He's a representation of our terror of the other inside ourselves.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Number 10, The Predator, the Predator franchise. The Predator, by contrast, is pretty upfront about representing the other outside ourselves. An other who also happens to be invisible and have a laser gun. Some people admire this otherworldly hunter species for their commitment to sportsmanship and desire to hunt the most challenging opponents. Those people are wrong. It should be obvious, but just in case someone needs to hear it, hunting other sapient beings for sport is a pretty messed up thing to do. The Predator preys on our fears of an alien so advanced it doesn't even need to go to war with us. Humans only stand a chance of survival against it at all because it chooses to toy with them. Number 9. Marvin the Martian, Looney Tunes. Whether he's setting us up for an earth-shattering kaboom or just bickering with duck dodgers, Marvin the Martian shows us the cuddlier side of an alien invader. He's intellectual, civilized, adorable.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Even as he's planning to blow up the Earth, you cannot help but root for the little guy with his tennis shoes and broom-top helmet. He even seems to have worked out a friendlier relationship with the rest of the Looney Tunes cast after a few decades of invading. Well, how else do you explain him showing up as a referee in Space Jam?
But if you don't find a fifth player, your team will forfeit the game.
Forfeit?
Precisely, Sir Altitude.
Looking at Marvin, it's easier to remember that deep down, even the nefarious aliens are just like us.
I'm not angry, just terribly, terribly hurt.
Number 8. Cthulhu, the Call of Cthulhu. There's no better symbol of the fathomless terrors of a universe we cannot understand than H.P. Lovecraft's squid-faced monstrosity. Cthulhu is not even from outer space. He's from whatever horrifying darkness exists outside of space and time. In fact, he's supposed to be so alien and unfathomable that the very sight of him drives people insane. So much so that a lot of creators shy away from showing him at all in visual media. Either because the unknown is so much scarier than what you can see, or because driving your viewers insane doesn't usually help ticket sales. Plus, the casting call would be an actual nightmare. Number 7. E.T. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Most entries on this list are about how powerful aliens are, what they can do for us, or to us. What makes E.T. stand out is that his story is about what humans might do to hurt him. An adorable sensation in the 1980s, E.T. lives on today in the heartwarming story of how beautiful and innocent a friendship between creatures from different worlds can be, but also just how fragile that innocence might be. Sure, it's all fun and games when you're building transmitters out of speak and spells or bringing plants back to life, but pretty soon the government's kicking in your door and trying to drag you back to Area 51. Number 6. Yoda, the Star Wars franchise. Inevitable this choice is. From Chewbacca to Jabba to this weirdo.
Bye.
Industrial Light and Magic pull off some amazingly lifelike aliens and creatures in the original Star Wars trilogy. But the greatest trick they ever pulled is convincing us that Yoda, this little green guy, is a mighty Jedi Master.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
But that is undeniably the truth of the matter. Remember, this was before we saw him flipping around in Episode 2, before we saw him catch Palpatine's lightning. All he had to convince us with were his clever words and busted sentence structure. And amazingly, we believed it. And boy, he turned out to be a wise badass. Number 5. The Xenomorph, the Alien franchise. Other aliens might be famous for invading our planet, but the Xenomorphs do them one better. They invade our bodies. In terms of sheer number of gross and gruesome ways to kill you, the alien from Alien may be the most deadly monster in cinema history. Every phase of the Xenomorph life cycle has a way to hideously violate your body, whether it's strangling you as a face hugger, bursting out of your chest, or whatever it does with that gross second mouth thing it has going on. They even have acid blood, just so they can get the last laugh. So, even if you do figure out how to kill one, your face can melt off from one last act of spite. Number 4. Goku, the Dragon Ball franchise. Speaking of aliens that can definitely kill you, the Saiyans might be the most ridiculously powerful species ever imagined. So, it's a good thing one of them's on our side.
I'm from outer space?
Yes.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Son Goku started out as a Saiyan baby, sent to Earth to begin an invasion. But much like the Iron Giant, a bump on the head changed his destiny. Instead, he grew up into a powerful but surprisingly gentle champion of the Earth. Now, his drive to be the strongest and irrepressible courage have turned him into a worldwide symbol of perseverance. Fans believe Goku can beat any opponent set before him, and they're probably right. Well, provided he spends enough filler episodes screaming at them in the desert first. Number 3. The Doctor, Doctor Who. The Doctor deserves a spot on this list for lifespan alone.
I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Kasterborous. I'm 903 years old, and I'm the man who's going to save your lives and all 6 billion people on the planet below.
Not just the 1,000 or so fictional years the Doctor has lived, but the fact that this show is literally the longest-running science fiction program of all time. How do you sum up a character who has literally had 13 different faces since 1963? It's surprisingly easy, actually. Wisdom, courage, compassion. The Doctor is smarter than anyone, never backs down when lives are on the line, and always gives the villain a chance to change.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the Doctor. The definite article, you might say.
The way the Doctor adopts us mere humans shows that we dare to hope aliens more advanced than us don't necessarily have to be hostile. Maybe they just want to give us a chance to meet Shakespeare.
Take it! Take it all, baby! Have it! You have it all!
Number 2. Spock, the Star Trek franchise.
Vulcan has no moon, Miss Uhura.
I'm not surprised, Mr. Spock.
Admit it, you're doing the hand gesture right now, aren't you? Star Trek played a pivotal role in teaching us acceptance and camaraderie, not just for our fellow humans, but for potential equals from other worlds. From gruff but lovable Worf to the gentle Deanna Troi to Q's omnipotent prankery, there is not an alien on the show we don't learn to feel for. But there's really only one logical choice to sum up that impact. Despite his insistence on avoiding sentimentality, Spock has a permanent place in the heart of any science fiction fan.
How do you feel, Spock? On the whole, Captain, I believe I'm quite fit.
His unflinching dedication to ethics and logic make him an intellectual role model. But his relationships with the other members of the Enterprise crew make him something more.
Live long and prosper.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel, the Marvel Universe. The Thing, The Thing. Mork, Mork and Mindy.
Oh, mind if I do?
Stitch, Lilo and Stitch. The Bug, Men in Black.
Eat me!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Superman, the DC Universe. His cousin Supergirl is deservedly popular in her own right, but if there's one alien every Earthling can name, it's Superman. Whether stopping a runaway train or just rescuing a cat from a tree, Clark Kent's alter ego embodies the ideals of kindness, humility, truth, and justice. Why? Because Ma and Pa Kent taught him to. Since his debut at the tail end of the Great Depression, these ideals were so powerful it made an alien the international symbol of what's best in humanity.
Bye, Frisky. Long now. Bye.
Bye!
So, for all the hopes and fears in our stories about aliens, Superman reminds us all of one thing. Whether you're born human, Kryptonian, or a robot from Mars, you are who you choose to be.
This country is safe against Superman, thanks to you.
No, sir. Don't thank me, Warden. We're all part of the same team. Night.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.